What you and I have to let the man know is we are peaceful people. We are loving people. We love everybody who loves us. But we don't love anybody who doesn't love us.
His voice was brave, bold, and uncompromising. This year, 2025, we celebrate the 100th birthday of Malcolm X, a champion for Black people around the world and one of the most influential and iconic leaders in American history.
It is time for you and me to stand up for ourselves. It is time for you and me to see for ourselves. It is time for you and me to hear for ourselves. And it is time for you and me to fight for ourselves.
As a young man, Malcolm was a convicted criminal, but he transformed his life by studying, learning, and evolving. As a member of the Nation of Islam, Malcolm urged Black pride, self-determination, and most importantly, unity.
Today, the white man calls us the Black Muslims not because we are Black people who are Muslims, but he tries to make it look like we are Black Muslims, something distinct, separate, and apart from the Muslims in Africa and Asia. Because the number one tactic that the white man has always used when he wanted to suppress and oppress and exploit has been divide and conquer. Anybody that opposes your freedom is a devil. Anybody that opposes justice for you is a devil.
Many whites and Blacks shunned Malcolm while he was alive, labeling him too radical and an advocate for racial violence and hate.
You've said, Minister Malcolm, you have to expect the Negroes to rise up sooner or later.
Oh, yes.
What does that mean?
I think every oppressed people, no matter how meek and humble they are, after you drive them so far, they're going to strike back.
Well, does that mean that you expect to organize battalions or paramilitary units in various Negro ghettos around the country and establish this coming summer for violent action?
No, but I think that most Afro-Americans, so-called Negroes, have reached the point of no return and are taking it upon themselves to be prepared if the necessity ever arrives where they will have to do something to defend themselves.
In 1964, a disillusioned Malcolm split from the Nation of Islam and its leader, Elijah Muhammad. He traveled to Africa, including a pilgrimage to Mecca that, as he put it, broadened his views.
Many white people are fed up with what the Negroes suffered. And this is what I had to become aware of on my pilgrimage to Mecca. I could see then that there are many white people in this country who will side with the Negro in whatever he has to do to protect himself. The Holy Quran teaches us to judge a man by his conscious behavior, by his intention. And my reason for going to Mecca was to get a better understanding of the religion of Islam and what the Quran teaches. So I judge a man by his conscious behavior. I am not a racist. I don't subscribe to any of the tenets of racism.
Then there are good whites and good Blacks and bad whites and Blacks.
It's not a case of being good and bad, good or bad Blacks and whites. It's a case of being good or bad human beings.
But after his dramatic falling out with the Nation of Islam, Malcolm's life was in danger. Even his house was firebombed.
The fire hit the window and it woke up my second oldest baby. But the fire burned on the outside of the house. But had that one gone through that window, it would have fallen on a 6-year-old girl, a 4-year-old girl, and a 2-year-old girl.
Had you had any threats, anything like this?
Had any threats? That's all I get is threats. I get not less than 6 or 7 threatening phone calls every day.
Even with ongoing threats to Malcolm and his family, he didn't go into hiding. He remained out front for the struggle for Black liberation.
We intend to make the philosophy of Black nationalism a living reality among the so-called Negroes in this country. And in itself, this will give the so-called Negro the incentive to try and solve his own problems himself, instead of waiting around for someone else to solve these problems for us.
But in 1965, before he could continue building and organizing, Malcolm X was gunned down in New York. In the words of the great actor and activist Ossie Davis, who delivered Malcolm X's eulogy, he was and is a prince, our own Black shining prince, who didn't hesitate to die because he loved us so. On his 100th birthday, we honor and salute our Black prince, Malcolm X. May he forever rest in power.